Okay, this is help for FRQ 7, question 1A. In this question, you're given a public class username, and this username class is going to contain a list of possible usernames based off of two parameters that are given during class construction. That's the string first name and string last name. And that's going to be stored in the array list of strings called possible names. So in part A, you are going to be writing a constructor, and the constructor is going to take the first name and the last name and is going to populate this array list with the various possible names. So the next question is, well, what's a possible name? Well, if you that's best shown by example. If you start with John Smith, these are the possible names: Smith J, Smith JO, Smith JOH, and Smith John. So every username is going to contain the last name, and then plus some substring starting at the beginning of John, and go either one letter from John or all of the letters or anything in between. So I guess I can help you start writing this. First of all, we need our header. What is it? It's username. User name. String first name. String last name. Now, we're in a constructor, and we have an object inside our class. So what do we have to do with our object first? That's right, we have to instantiate it. So we can say possible names. Let's assign new array list string. And this, before we just simply had a reference variable to an array list. Now we actually have an instantiated array list that we can add elements to. Okay, so let's create a temporary variable, string, one name, let's say. Okay, and we will start this off as the last name, because no matter what, our list will contain it's going to every item on the list will contain the last name. Okay. Now remember, strings are immutable, so as long as we can change one name however we want, even though they're pointing to the same object, because that will not actually change the string that last name is pointing to. Should have an end. Okay, so we want to add each item by adding one character, two characters, etc. from first name. So we need a loop to go through first name. So for int I is assigned 0, I is less than first name dot length I plus plus. And now we're going to be adding possible names dot add, and we'll say one name plus something from the first name. And I'll leave that for you as an exercise to figure out. I guess you didn't actually have to create this variable one name. You could delete this and use last name. I thought I would do it a different way. Okay.